All right. Hello, everyone. It's the holiday season. We just passed Thanksgiving, or just celebrated Thanksgiving. Christmas is up next. And if you're a conservative like me, it's inevitable that you're going to be sitting next to one of your cousins or something, or some family member or friend, liberal Leroy across the table. And even though you just want to laugh and perhaps watch sports, enjoy your meal, because you're somewhat involved or engaged in politics, they're going to want to poke and prod you just because they're liberals, and that's what liberals do. Until and force you into a situation where you can defend Trump. And inevitably, they're going to call Trump names like, he's a liar, he's a Russian plant, he's a tax cheat, he's a philanderer, all this kind of nonsense. So what I want to do today is arm you with some arguments to take back against them and just silence them so you can just eat in peace and have that inner smile knowing that you won knowing that you won the debate, and maybe kick down a little knowledge, so hopefully educate them a little better when it comes to politics. But one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to Donald Trump is when people call him a dictator, and the guy is the furthest thing from the dictator that I've seen politically in my lifetime when it comes to the White House, or at least as long as I've been paying attention to politics and anyone in the White House. So first off, let me kick some knowledge to you. Dictators don't sign into law tax cuts. Dictators don't deregulate. Dictators don't tolerate dissent, and dictators don't support the Second Amendment. So let's go through all of these. A dictator wants a centralized government, everything planned through the federal government, or that's what a dictator would want. Everything going through his hands, if you want. Everything going through Washington, D.C. Trump doesn't want that. He's given us a better economy. Consumer confidence is high. Job numbers are high. Unemployment is very low, particularly, across the spectrum. But we're seeing record numbers when it comes to the Black and Latino community, right? So that's one thing. Dictators don't give tax cuts so you can put more money in your pocket. They want to hoard the money so that they can empower themselves and all of the people they have around them, including the military, so they can reign from on high. Everything is planned through central planning. Trump isn't doing that. He's empowering you. The next thing, dictators don't deregulate. This is a very important point. So what President Trump has done with Executive Order 13771 is he's taken power away from the unelected bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. and giving you more power. So for every regulatory action that the bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. take under whether it's Department of Energy, EPA, all of these people we don't elect but get to write these laws, he's taken away for every one regulation they put into law, he takes away at least two. And he's also put a cap on the spending that these people are allowed to do in order to empower you. It's another thing dictators don't do. Another thing, as far as dissent is concerned, dictators don't tolerate dissent. Could you imagine Kim Jong-un, President Xi Jinping in the surveillance state of China, allowing people, the media, to go crazy on them, or being as transparent as Trump every time he gets off of a plane or gives a press conference? The guy is an open book. Could you imagine Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela, any one of these dictators acting like President Trump and allowing for dissent? The guy has over 90% negative coverage in the media, yet somehow they get to call him a dictator. It makes no sense. Trump allows for dissent. Dictators shoot their opponents. President Trump tweets at his opponents. The last thing is no dictator would attend and give a speech at an NRA, National Rifle Association meeting. It's just ludicrous to say this guy is a dictator. Listen, if you're in the NRA, I'm a member of the NRA. NRA are some gun-toting, freedom-loving Americans, and they're not going to tolerate a dictator. So why would a president go and speak in front of them? President Trump was the first president since Ronald Reagan to do so. A dictator would never go give a speech in front of freedom-loving, Second Amendment-loving, Bill of Rights-loving people who would fight to the death to make sure they keep their freedoms intact. So there's some arguments for you to take to liberal Leroy across the dinner table, for next Thanksgiving, for this upcoming Christmas. All right. So dictators don't cut taxes. Dictators don't deregulate as Trump has. Dictators don't allow for dissent and just simply tweet at their opponents instead of shoot their opponents. And lastly, dictators don't attend Second Amendment meetings. All right, guys. Peace.